Is this the last generation? We don't see the severity. We don't know what we facing, and it ain't no escape. These are days of Noah. It's 11:59, and I can't believe my eyes. Peeking out the window, looking out the blinds. Mushroom cloud, watch it touch. Can't believe my eyes. It's about that time. Tanks rolling the block like it was Armageddon. Who won't survive in these last days? Time is ticking, I'm mindful of every idle word. I know the Father's listening. Getting back to our heritage, this is not religion. GPS on Jerusalem, get my ox out the trenches. They can't control us, they scared to put us in high position. Not entertainers, we watchmen, we about our Father's business. Is this the last generation? We don't see the severity, we don't know what we facing, and it ain't no escape. I reached the conclusion that when it's judgment time, faith in Christ is the only way I'll be justified. Natural branches shoot off, that mean the summer's nigh. You're witnessing prophecy, Hosea 3:5. I'm willing, I'll be alive to witness my people rise, to see the hopeful elect receive that immortal power. 144 on Mount Zion behind the black Messiah. Space forces can't stop it, Aki, that's suicide. Is this the last generation? We don't see the severity, we don't know what we facing, and it ain't no escape. These are days of Noah, it's 11:59, and I can't believe my eyes. Peeking out the window, looking out the blinds. Mushroom, I watch it touch the sky. Can't believe my eyes, it's about that time. Tanks rolling up the block like it was Armageddon.
Along this narrow path, warn the people our time is short. Prove your servant worthy, gird, endure to the end, dying daily, know that the good shepherd heard me. Knowing my good shepherd heard me. He heard me.
Hey, alcohol, we paying attention to these prophecies. Animals dying, these the times Hosea 4:3. Luke 21-20, I'm like, should we stay or flee? FEMA camps is coming, ain't no way to meet us. Watch and pray, I praise our young and say that's what I wanna see. Judgment coming, dangerous times. 2 Timothy 3, the Pope changing commandment. Daniel 7:25, he gon' get it up on fire. They go to good the most high. Coming back to the covenant, cause we wanna stay alive. Keep it faithful to Messiah, keep them laws or you gon' die. Fight that sin so you gon' cry. We at the end, why would he lie? All of this was prophesied. Abba, please open their eyes. Evacuation rose up in my city. The Father about to get busy. And power stronger than 50. I pray the jury is lifted. Earthbreaking pestilence coming. 2/3 ain't no need for running. Keep your faith and y'all keep them commandments. Cause Messiah coming.
Is this the last generation? We don't see the severity. We don't know what we facing, and it ain't no escape. These are days of Noah, it's 11:59, and I can't believe my eyes. Peeking out the window, looking out the blinds. Mushroom cloud, watch it touch the sky. Can't believe my eyes, it's about that time. Tanks rolling up the block like it was Armageddon.
Shalom, Facebook fam. Shalom, Sumo, people's out of YouTube.
Coming to the end. Last days.
I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to another episode of Transformation Tuesday. Tonight, we'd like to give all praise and honor to Ahia Bahashim Yeshaya Warowak. For those of you not familiar with the Hebrew, that is all praise unto the Most High in the name of Christ as well as the Holy Spirit. Once again, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you to another episode of Transformation Tuesday, where we are striving to transform into the image of the greatest Israelite who ever lived, Yeshaya HaMashiach, who the world knows to be Jesus the Christ. Once again, we thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your business schedule to join us tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, so due to the fact you decided to join us, we do not take your time for granted. We pray and hope that all is well with you and your families. Pray and hope that all is going good with you guys tonight, that you came in excited to learn, to get your answers, to get answers to the questions that you have in your life. Whatever the case may be, we thank you for joining us tonight, and we pray that the Most High be with you and continue to bless and smile down upon you and your families. For those that may be joining us for the first time, this is our Transformation Tuesday Q&A. Opportunity to ask questions concerning the Bible. Now, what we always ask, ladies and gentlemen, is that you don't ask a question about someone else's belief, a particular church, a particular pastor, elder, or camp, but we ask that you keep those questions in line with your own personal journey, something that you're desiring for yourselves. You understand? We have questions that's already been submitted, and we will also be asking questions live. There's no such thing as a big question, no such thing as a small question. or a dumb question. We welcome all. But we also ask that if someone asks us a question, that you do not ridicule them. You do not make them feel bad, because we're here to edify all. You understand? Now, all praise to the Most High, Ms. Jones. All praise to the Most High. Now, we got a lot of questions that's already been submitted. And so we got to get in locked and loaded. We're going to go straight in. Tonight's foundation scriptures are coming from Romans, the 12th chapter, and Isaiah 33. Romans, the 12th chapter, and Isaiah 3. So let's give them Romans 12, verses 1 through 2, and Isaiah 33.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God,
by the mercy of the Most High, go ahead,
that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable, unto God,
unto the Most High, go ahead,
which is your reasonable service.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we must understand. You watch the watch party. You must understand that we cannot see the things of the Most High as an obligation or a burden, but we must see this as our reasonable service. Go ahead.
And be not conformed to this world.
We must not be conformed to this world,
but be ye transformed.
Be ye transformed how?
By the renewing of your mind.
By the renewing of our mind. Why are we renewing our mind? Why are we doing these things?
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect.
That means mature.
Will of God.
Will of the Most High. So our job as sons and daughters of the Most High is to prove to the rest of the world what is what?
What is good.
What is good to the Most High.
It's
acceptable to the Most High.
And perfect.
What is the mature believer looks like.
Will of God.
Will of the Most High for our lives. Now, we also want to apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for coming on late tonight. We have a special guest with us tonight, my nephew, Young Deuce. Most of y'all are accustomed to hearing him in the background giving his commentary right now. We got him chill. So if you hear a baby crying or a baby, spitting out a precept, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. That's just Young Deuce in the building. Shalom. He said shalom to all the people. Look at him. He looked over here too. He gave us the fish. Shalom to the people. All right, let's go to Isaiah 33. Isaiah 33, we're just building the foundations right now. So for those who got some questions, please go ahead and put them in. We got some submitted already, and we will get to them in the order they come. Isaiah 33, let's start at verse 13.
Hear, ye that are far off, what I have done, and ye that are near, acknowledge my might.
Read that. So,
hear, ye that are far off.
So the Most High is talking to his sons and daughters that have been driven away through captivity. Go ahead.
What I have done.
So he's saying, what I have done. Go ahead.
And ye that are near.
And the ones who have came back to the Most High.
Acknowledge my might.
Acknowledge my might. So he wants those who have a relationship with him already to acknowledge his might, so that those who are far off from him, those who don't know him right now, will be able to see him. Go ahead.
The sinners in Zion are afraid.
Go ahead.
Fearfulness have surprised the hypocrites,
right?
Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire.
So what is going on right now? I see the world are seeing what's going on with the true Israelites, and they're like, how did this happen? We're surprised because we thought grace was going to save us. We thought the religion of Christianity was going to spare us. But now we're seeing our communities are looking worse than they ever did. Go ahead.
Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burning?
Go ahead.
He that walketh uprightly,
right?
He that despises the gain of oppression, that shaketh his hand from holding of bribes,
go ahead,
that stoppeth his ear from hearing of blood,
right,
and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil.
Now look at that. The Most High has given a plain definition of what his sons and daughters are supposed to look like. Read that again. Verse 15.
He that walketh righteously.
He that walketh righteously, go ahead.
And speaketh uprightly.
And not only talking it, but living it, go ahead.
He that despises the gain of oppression.
He's not out here trying to fall into the things of oppression. Go ahead.
That shaketh his hand from holding of bribes.
And you can't buy me off. I'm going to do what thus says the Most High. Go ahead.
That stoppeth his ear from hearing of blood.
I don't want to hear your gossip. I don't want to hear you slandering. I don't want to hear your false gospel and false witnessing. Go ahead.
And shutteth his eyes from seeing evil.
I will not continue to watch no world star hip hop. I don't want to see your reality TV shows. I'm not participating in none of it. Go ahead. What will the Most High do? Verse 16.
He shall dwell on high.
Nah, he gonna be just struggling, bro.
He shall dwell on high.
He shall dwell on high.
His place of defense shall be munitions of rocks. Bread shall be given him. His water shall be sure.
Go ahead.
The eyes shall see the king
And
in
we
his
shall
beauty.
see Hamashiach. Go ahead.
They shall behold the land that is very far
You
off.
see that? So this is why we do Transformation Tuesdays. So we can transform into the image of the greatest Israelite who ever lived. His name is Yeshua Hamashiach, who the world know to be Jesus the Christ. So this is the purpose of this. This is not about us comparing knowledge or seeming smarter than anyone else. This is so that we all may transform into the image of the greatest Israelite who ever lived, Yeshua Hamashiach, who the world know to be Jesus the Christ. Now, so as I said, if you have questions, you can submit those questions. We will get to them in the order that they come. Those in the watch party, you can do that as well. We have some that's already submitted, so we're going to get started. I promised someone that I would start out with that question, so we're going there first. Question number 1. I'm kind of stuck in hopes that you may be able to help. I'm at a place where I feel like being in the church where some call upon the Most High and others call upon Jesus and saying they are the same. You know, there's a belief as far as the Christian church is that Jesus is God, right? We know that not to be true, right? And he says that my question is, what is the best way to move forward? I understand everyone isn't going to be in the same places. Spiritually, I'm truly battling, not just with that, but also with the Sabbath. It's becoming tiresome to drag myself to church on Sundays, knowing the truth. Hashtag, please help. Now, as I told the sister when I talked to her, that I was going to bring this question out for Q&A because I know this is something that everyone that's coming in the truth of who they are, that they're not black, that they're not African American, that they're from the tribe of Judah, from the nation of Israel, is dealing with. We've all dealt with this transition, and it gets lonely, it gets frustrating. You understand? So what I told her is the same thing I'm going to tell you guys. There's a lot of Israelites who are steady screaming every day, get out of the church, leave the church. Listen, for those who don't know, we came into the truth around 2013. I was an associate pastor of the Baptist Church, late 2013, right? I already had my own evangelical ministry as traveling, and I was working alongside my girlfriend who was also a minister. When I came into the truth, I was not able to just walk away from that. So I stayed in the church for another 3 years, but I was a leader. So the rules and how you do these things for being a leader or for just being a member of the church are not the same. I had people dependent on me. I had people that was looking to me for guidance. Also, I had to learn this information, and I just couldn't get a couple of facts and a couple of precepts and just walk away from everything I knew to be true my whole life. You understand? So what I told her is the same thing I'm going to tell you. You don't make any moves with leaving the church until you have prayed to the Most High and been released from him. Because all of these people that screaming all this Sunday service is pagan, a lot of these guys ain't got nowhere for you to go. They're not going to give you no help. They're not going to be there for you. They don't have nothing to offer you but means and links. That is the gist of their ministry. They ain't got no works. You understand? Shalom, good seeing you on with us tonight. So don't ever let someone guilt you or make you feel as if you're in a place. You move when the Spirit of the Most High tells you to move. Now, how do we handle this? How do we address it? Let's go to 2 Timothy 2. I need you to hold that and get 2 Corinthians 6 chapter. Right? Get 2 Timothy 2. I need you to hold that and get 2 Corinthians 6. So, just be patient is what I will say. The number one thing is to be patient, right? Because everybody that's telling you to do something ain't got your best interest in heart. You allow the Holy Spirit to be what you lead, right? So let's go 2 Timothy 2. I need you to hold that and get 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter. So 2 Timothy 2, let's start at verse 23. Watch this.
But foolish and unlearned questions avoid.
So as you come into the truth, you start getting understanding about certain situations, certain things, and certain subjects. You're going to have information that other people are not privileged to. They're not going to know what you know, right? So every statement that someone makes, you don't need to jump into that conversation. You know what I'm saying? When you're on social media scrolling down and you see people posting and saying things that you know are just outright just madness. Don't get into it because those people don't understand what they're talking about. They think they know something, but they don't. Right? So read that again for him. Super says what?
But foolish and unlearned questions avoid.
So these things that people are saying just to start beef, some people don't want knowledge. They just like debate. Avoid those situations. Don't even engage in that. Go ahead.
Knowing that they do gender strife.
That's all it's going to do is just bring strife. You understand? Shalom, Aviva. Good seeing you over tonight. Shalom, Miss Karen. Good seeing you over this night. You understand? So listen, avoid those things. And all my people that's coming on YouTube, please like the post as you come on. If you're on social media, please share this link for the people that's on your social media, please. We appreciate it. We want to make sure we spread this out throughout YouTube. So avoid these things. Because the only thing it's going to ultimately do is start strife. It's not going to do anything. It's going to start strife. Go ahead, verse 25.
And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men.
Read that again.
And the servant of the Lord must not strive.
So the person that sons and daughters of the Most High, they must not strive. They must not be, standoffish. But what?
But be gentle.
But be gentle
unto all men.
Unto all men.
Apt to teach.
Patience. Patient. So you must be in this position where you got to be approachable. You understand? You need to be approachable. You need to do it with gentleness. Galatians 6:1 said, if your brother be taken in a spiritual fault, restore him with meekness. Don't crush the people. You know what I'm saying? Don't become a verifier where you just trying to point out everything wrong in the people. But be gentle and be apt to teach. Being patient with your people. Go ahead. Verse 25.
In meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves.
See, Paul said you got to be in meekness, teaching them because they're opposing themselves. They don't even realize it. People that are going against you when you're sharing truth with them, they think they're fighting against you, but they're really opposing themselves. They just don't know it. Watch this. Go ahead.
If God peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth.
So what happens is when you carry out things in this way, you leave the door open for them to be able to acknowledge the truth. But some people, because of the way they're acting, are not giving room for repentance because all they can see is your bad attitude and judgmental spirit. You understand? Verse 25?
26.
Salaki, verse 26.
And that they may recover themselves.
And they may do what?
Recover themselves
out
of the snare of the devil.
Right.
Who are taken captive by him at his will.
Go ahead. So we must understand that our people who are lost and they don't know what they're doing, it's really because they're in a situation where they can't sleep. They're trapped in a snare by the devil. Right? What Ms. Jones said on that.
The servant of the Lord must be gentle unto all men to teach patience. We need to be approachable, restored with meekness.
Con. So let's go to 2 Corinthians 6. But ultimately, I need to put it out there that you can't remain in there too. Because we have some people who are remaining in the Christian church, remaining in churches who are teaching false religions and false doctrine because they're comfortable. And I know my sister's not, who asked this question, this is not related to her, but there are some people who like to be, quote unquote, the smartest person in the room. They like that. They want to be able to say that they know more than a pastor or know more than the deacons and all that. You understand? So you just can't remain in foolishness. You just can't remain in madness. It comes upon a time when it's ultimately going to be time to go. Let's go 2 Corinthians 6. Let's read verse 14. Watch this.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
So a lot of time you've seen in the churches that people have tried to use this as far as relationships are concerned. Yeah, you can apply this to someone that's trying to get married, they're trying to find a husband, a wife, but this is not what Paul was talking about. He's talking about you out here in this world, you out here doing the dealings. You can't be doing work, doing businesses, doing ministry with people who don't believe in your God. Go ahead.
For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness?
Go ahead.
And what communion have light with darkness?
There is none. There is none. And we can say all day that they place their heart is in the right place and No, that's cool. That's why you remain teachable. That's why you do things with gentleness. But year after year can't go by, especially if you're not a leader and you're just remaining there. You understand? It's time. It's going to be a time where it's time to step out, and you're going to see this in a minute. Go watch this. Verse 13.
15.
It's like verse 15.
And what concord have Hamashiach with Belial?
So what does the gospel of Hamashiach, the gospel of Jesus Christ, what fellowship, what agreement is there with doctrines of devils? There is none. You understand? Go ahead.
Or what part have he that believeth with an infidel?
You see that? Watch this, verse 16.
And what agreement have the temple of God with idols?
So this is what it all boils down to. You know, in these religions, you know, they put a lot of emphasis in idols. And we know that the Bible tells us not to be dealing with idols. You know what I'm saying? So if you're the temple of God, you can't be, you know, connected to things of idols. And that goes with the holidays. These holidays, what do they want to talk about? They sanctified and all this. You can't sanctify nothing. Ecclesiastes 7 said, how can a man make straight what God has made crooked? It don't work like that. You just can't say, well, yeah, we know it is pagan roots, but we doing it for this. Nah, it don't work like that. That's not the way the Most High operates. Go ahead.
For ye are the temple of the living God.
That building is not the church. You are. You understand? They do, sister. They do. Because the sister said that these scriptures take on a whole new meaning when you're awake. And it's true. That's so real. Right? Read that again. Super says what?
For ye are the temple of the living God.
You are the temple of the Most High. Go ahead.
As God have said,
right?
I will dwell in them and walk in them,
right?
And I will be their God,
right?
And they shall be my people.
And they shall be my people. We put so much emphasis on the building, and we congregate. We get together every Sabbath. But the building is not nothing. You are the building. You are the church. Right? Verse 17.
Wherefore, come out from among them.
Nah, man, I can chill, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can, you know.
Wherefore, come out from among them.
Wherefore, come out from among them. Go ahead.
And be ye separate.
And be ye separate.
Said the Lord.
Said the Most High.
And touch not the unclean
thing.
thing.
Bro, if I pray over it, it's clean now.
And touch not the unclean thing.
Go ahead.
And I will receive you.
So notice that the Most High is saying this. Unless you come out from among them and you leave the unclean things alone, we will not be received. You see that? Watch this. Verse 18.
And will be a father unto you,
right?
And ye shall be my sons and daughters, said the Lord Almighty.
Now, Leviathan talking about that, bro.
Said the Lord Almighty.
You see that? So eventually, you must come out from among them. Lastly, though, I want to give this because let me get 1 Timothy 5. So the Most High gave me this right before I came on because I always pray and make sure that we cover everything. I want to say this too because what I have found out is that a lot of people are using this truth as justification to attack leaders and pastors. Listen, I don't care if you can quote this Bible from Genesis to Revelation. You have no right to attack a pastor. No right. Stand down. And the most of you that are doing all this attacking the pastors, you ain't got no works. You don't have nothing. This man, this women have given their lives to serving their communities, and you come into some understanding in 3 months, and you think you got the right to call them out. No, you don't. So I wanted to make sure I put that as well. 1 Timothy 5:1.
Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father.
You see that? You don't rebuke an elder. You don't have the right. Never, ever do that. Because that is, listen, all these little videos where you seeing these guys go back into these churches and do this, that is not the Most High. That's them getting their own little pride, their little likes and shares. That is not the spirit of the Most High. When do you ever see Christ go up into the synagogues and attack the Pharisees and the scribes, Sadducees? When do you ever see Christ do that? You understand? So don't get loud like that. That's not the spirit of a Mashiach. Now, we got any questions submitted? Anything? Got anything?
My watch party. I said they had a question about unfoolish, but they ain't asked it yet.
What is it?
Just said I have a question about foolish and unlearned questions. I just typed in what is your question.
Okay.
It ain't came through yet.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one while they get that together. All right. So let's go to this one. Elder, have you found the Gentiles accept the truth quicker than our own people? The majority of my family and friends won't even have a conversation with me. And the ones that do only do it to humor me, but they are not really listening. But on my job, co-workers that are Gentiles have noticed the changes and are constantly asking questions. And a few, which are Christians, stated that they have learned things from the Bible that they never were taught at church. Why is this? I'm going to read that question again. My brother said, Elder, have you found that Gentiles accept this truth than our own people do? And when he says the truth, that means that the true Israelites of the Bible are the so-called black man, the so-called African American man, the so-called Native Americans, the so-called Latinos and Hispanics, the people, the Aborigines of Australia, South America, Hawaiians, Polynesians, Samoans, the Fiji Islands, the people of West and South Africa, and those that are scattered all over the world, 4 corners of the earth, are the real 12 tribes of Israel. This is what he means by the truth for my Christian brothers and sisters who may not know what that means. He says, Elder, have you found that Gentiles accept this truth quicker than our own people? The majority of my family and friends won't even have a conversation with me. The ones that do only do it to humor me, but they are not really listening. But on my job, co-workers have noticed the changes and are constantly asking questions. And a few, which are Christians, stated they have learned things from the Bible from me that they never were taught at church. Why is this? Let's get 2 Corinthians 1. And let me get Romans the 10th chapter. And I can state that up simply by what Yeshaya said. A prophet is not respected in his own home. He will never be honored in his own home. And a lot of our people have been brainwashed to the point where they don't want to receive anything from their own people, anything that look like them. They don't want to receive it. So it's a lot of varieties of reasons why that is the case, but I want to give you just a couple. What you gotta do? You got what? So I told y'all Deuce is gonna give us precepts from time to time. You know what I'm saying? He's staying in the spirit though, so he's always ancient Hebrew. So you have to, understanding his only come by prayer and fasting. You know what I'm saying? But let me get 2 Corinthians 1. Hold that and get Romans 10. Let me show you why oftentimes that Gentiles are more apt to listen to it and this is why. 2 Corinthians 1 verse 22.
Who have also sealed us.
2 Corinthians 1 and 22.
2 Corinthians 1 and 22.
First, hold up. My bad. I'm going to put the wrong thing out. I mean 1. 1 Corinthians 1. 22.
1 Corinthians 1.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 1 and 22.
For the Jews require a sign.
Go ahead.
And the Greeks seek after wisdom.
So what it is with our people, ladies and gentlemen, they require a sign. But the Gentiles, they're more happy to issue when it's about wisdom. So with the Israelites, with our own people, they want to see some magical, mystical situation where you have some form of full transformation in your life. You understand? They seek a sign. But the Greeks, the Gentiles, they want wisdom. So the fact that the Gentiles are really are hung on the fact that when they're hearing this Bible from an Israelite, they're hearing it in a manner that they never heard it before. It makes sense to them. It's clear. So this is the reason why they're able to receive who you are before our own people do. Right? What Mr. Jones say right there?
This is so true. I dealt with this very thing.
Yeah. It's a common situation amongst our people. But let me show you why. Let me get Romans 10 verse 1 through 2 to 3. Let me show you why. We can't be impatient with our brothers and sisters. A lot of our people are just, been indoctrinated, and they just don't even understand to the depthness of what they are. You pull him back in front of the camera, man. His mind is switched right back. Just you pull him. Yeah, see how it look. He went right back in. All right, let's get Romans 10, verse 2-3.
For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God.
So the Most High says, through Paul, he says that Israel has a zeal for God. Nobody has a love for the Most High like Israel. Go ahead.
But not according to knowledge.
But not according to knowledge, because a lot of our people, ladies and gentlemen, they are trapped in the religion of Christianity. And that's all they ever knew. The traditions of their family, whatever their grandma, their grandpa, whatever their mom and their daddy taught them, that's all they know. And for them, that's all they want to know. So they have a zeal for the Most High. They have a desire for the Most High. But what?
But not according to knowledge.
But not according to this Bible. So as a result of it not being based on the Bible, what has happened? Verse 3.
For they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness.
So now they have went about and they started establishing their own righteousness. The Baptist denomination, the Am Zion denomination, the Kojic denomination, the Full Gospel denomination. Well, they didn't start the Pentecostal, but they pretty much done took over the Pentecostal. They didn't start the Jehovah's Witnesses, but they done took over the Jehovah's Witnesses. You see what I'm saying? All of these things that you're seeing, these what they call non-denominational churches, because they was ignorant of the Most High righteousness and ignorant of the fact of who they are, they went to establish their own righteousness and never did what?
And have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
And have not submitted it to what the Most High asked for our people to do. So I say, brother, to you that's happening. Listen, Jeremiah 16:19 says that in the last days there shall come to Hamashiach and say, surely our father, the Gentiles will say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. We understand, according to Isaiah 49:6, that a part of our ministry, which is our mission statement, is to be light to the Gentiles. So if the Most High uses you to wake up Gentiles, wake them up. If you get an Israelite along the way, all praise. But whoever wants to come back to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you lead them back, brother. Maybe that just might be your ministry. You understand? Now, what you got?
And he came through with that question. He said, I'm guessing from that first question, he said, if you see a statement made by any individual via social media, why should we withhold the correct information instead of stating what's factual?
Okay.
Why should we withhold the information?
Right. Okay. Let me get Matthew 7 on that. The reason why, what I always tell people to do is that you got to know who you're dealing with. Right? You got to know who you're dealing with. If you don't, if there are some people, and I don't even know, I don't want to know who asked that question because I want to make sure I answer it according to the Spirit. The reason why you have to know that person, because there are some people who post on social media for debate. They have no desire for edification. They have no desire to learn. They just want to debate. So you see these guys, they're going back and forth with you, and they're never listening to what you're saying. They're just dissecting it to find something that they can see in there to respond to that. So some people don't have no desire to actually, you understand, to actually be edified by your statement. They just want to see if they can prove you wrong. You understand? So I would say in those scenarios, first and foremost is pray about the situation and know who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with someone who's really seeking knowledge, then you make that truth available. A lot of times what I'll do, I'm not telling you to do what I do, but a lot of times what I do is, depending on the scenario, I go to the inbox, right? I see the scenario, I see the conversation going on, I go to the inbox. Your brother, well, how about checking this out? Or I saw you posted this, but I just wanted to suggest this. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, man, people, especially when people are, sensitive to being corrected, they'll take it somewhere else, and you don't want to do that. Let me get that Matthew 7:6. Watch this.
Give not that which is holy unto the dogs.
Go ahead.
Neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you.
You see that? So listen, you got to know who you're dealing with. If this is a you know what I'm saying, a spiritual conversation, and people are really on there, like really learning, and these people are like, you know what I'm saying, like they really trying to get some understanding, share that knowledge with them. You know what I'm saying? But if you know that this person is really just And people in there, you got some scoffers in there going back and forth. Hey, stay away from it. The greatest sermon, well, we just using the word sermon for lack of a better word. The greatest message that you can always preach is living it. Be the light. Because what happens is light always shines in the darkness. So sometimes it's not going to be about what you say. It's about how you live it. But if there's a scenario and that door is open to share it, share it. But you better know what you're talking about when you share this knowledge. As a matter of fact, let's give him that, Sue. Let's give him that. Let's go to Sirach. Let's give him that. Make sure you know what you're talking about. So let me give him that Sirach. And if those who don't have an Apocrypha, the Apocrypha is 14 books from the Old Testament that was removed by the Protestant Church in 1878. You can go to, if you have a separate laptop, phone, or tablet, you can go to it and go to Google and put in SIRACH chapter 5. We're going to be in the Apocrypha throughout the night, so you might as well go ahead and pull that up. But this verse what I'm about to give you right here is for that scenario. Sirach 5, and let's just go straight to it. Verse 11 and 12.
Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere.
You see that? So be swift to hear, but let thy what?
Life be sincere.
Let your life be sincere. Because a lot of times, if you're not living what you're talking about, that's the ammunition that people have to discredit what you're saying. You understand? Go ahead.
And with patience give answer. If thou hast understanding,
if you have understanding about what's being talked about,
answer thy neighbor.
Then you answer the neighbor. But what?
If not,
if you don't,
lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Dude's like that. Dude said, dude's giving him thumbs up when he said, that's how you do it. That's right, man. So, in all seriousness, if there's a situation, there's a topic being discussed, and you have full understanding of how to explain it, because you can have full understanding of what it is, but still not have full understanding of how to explain it. You understand? But if you do, answer thy neighbor. But if you don't, read that last part.
If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Don't say nothing. You understand? So I hope that brought some understanding of what we're saying. That's a really good question. But social media can be very tricky. For those who, with me on social media, you notice I don't post a lot no more. You don't see me on people's posts, except, Pacific brews that I deal with. We rather just live this thing and let the light be, and people come to me in their own way. But brother or sister, whoever it was that asked that question, if the Most High give you a door to embrace some edification, by all means, bring it out. Great question. Appreciate that question. Now, like I said, if anybody has some questions, please feel free to ask, and we'll answer them in the order they come. We got another one. Got some more submitted now. Now, if we are under grace and this is next question. If we are under grace and the new covenant, why should we be concerned about the Old Testament? If we are under grace and under the new covenant, why should we be concerned about the Old Testament? Now, I thought about this today when this question came to me, and we've answered this question in one form or another several times. But tonight, the Spirit told me to go a different way, and I think this is the reason why. Ladies and gentlemen, especially when we're dealing with my Christian brothers and sisters, they are not fully aware of who the covenant is with. They are not only on top of that, they are not aware of who the covenant is with. They don't know who they are. They are still identifying themselves on a false identity. So when you're given a false identity, you don't know who you are. You don't know who the covenant is with. And then on top of that, you're following a doctrine that is not of the Most High. This is why it's so easy for people to say, we're on the grace, we don't got to do something about it. But let's just look at this from a practical sense. What I want, Super, is Exodus 19 and Hebrews 8. That's what I want to start with. And let's start with a practical example of here. When has someone ever given you a Bible right? I mean, Salaki, a book, and tell you, hey, yo, just start in the middle of it, right? I give you let's see a book I got over here, right? So this little bookshelf right here. Please ignore the guy on the front. It's some guy, right? Moses, the man on the mountain, right? Okay, but it was written by a sister. You know what I'm saying? It's a sister on there. Sister wrote it. She just probably didn't have access to the. You know what I'm saying? But if I got you that book, I'd say, listen, it's 310 pages. Just start on page 165. Right? Just go forward. You'll look at me like I'm crazy. But yet that's how they teach the Bible. Yet that's what they say as far as the Bible is concerned. Just start in the middle. Start in the New Testament. Don't worry about behind. That's madness. It's pure madness. But that's the doctrine that's being taught. We got whole lessons on that and why that's been that way. We ain't got time to go into that tonight. But what I'm going to show you quickly here is who the covenant is with. And if you understand who the covenant is with, then you will understand why it is important for you to follow this Bible. And knowing that you're not who you are. Let's just go to this. Let's go to Exodus 9. Let's let the script speak for itself. So the Christianity teaches that the replacement theology, that now the covenant is with the Christian church. This is what people believe. So they believe because they believe in Jesus Christ and they don't have to keep no laws. They don't have to do anything. And they believe now that their covenant, the new covenant is with them. So this is the reason why they view the Bible as the way they do. But let me show you that all of that is false. Let's go to Exodus 19 and Hebrews the 8th chapter. Exodus 19 is going to show you who the original covenant was with. I don't want to just say it. I want to show you. And then we're going to show you in Hebrews 8. Watch this. Hebrews 19, so let's start at verse 3.
And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel.
What are you going to tell them?
Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians,
right?
And how I bare you on eagle's wings,
right?
And brought you up until myself.
Brought you unto myself. Go ahead.
Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice,
right?
Indeed, and keep my covenant,
and keep what?
And keep my covenant.
Go ahead.
Then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me.
Unto who?
Unto me,
right?
Above all people.
No, equal to everybody else.
Above all people.
No, we just like everybody else.
Above all people.
Go ahead.
For all the earth is mine.
You see that? See that? Now, let's go to Jeremiah 31. Notice how they had that in the notes. Because I want to go ahead and make sure that if any of my Christian brothers and sisters over here, they will say, well, that changed when Jesus came. No. Let's go to Jeremiah 31. You already know what I need. You already got it marked. 31, 35 through 35 through 36.
Thus said the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day.
The sun by light by day.
And the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night.
Go ahead.
Which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name.
His name is Ahijah. Go ahead.
If those ordinances depart from me,
right,
from before me,
right,
said the Lord,
said the Most High,
then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
So, ladies and gentlemen, did the sun shine today?
Yep.
Is the moon outside right now? For those who are at the beach, have the waves overtaken the beach? So that means, as long as that's going down, Israel is still the apple of the Most High's eye. Let me get that Malachi 3:6. Watch this. Let me get that Malachi 3:6. Watch this.
For I am the Lord,
Uh-huh.
I change not.
Now, hold up, brother. Hold on now. What about when Catholicism's gone?
For I am the Lord, I change not.
Nah, see, but you know what I'm saying? Listen, bro. Constantine had a really good point on the Council of Nicaea, and I see things different now.
For I am the Lord, I change not.
Listen, he don't change. This whole idea of talking about, well, that's the God of the Old Testament, and this is a new God. Nah. And since the Most High has not changed, what happened as a result?
Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
You see that? Because of the agreement that he made with our father Abraham, we were not destroyed. Now, let's go back to Exodus 19. I just wanted to make sure that was clear, that what he said pre-law has not changed. Every day the sun is shining, we know that Israel is above all nations. Equality is a downgrade, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you don't see Israelites out there protesting. We serve our king. We don't need civil rights from America. We're good. Now, verse, what we at?
Verse 6.
Verse 6, back in Exodus 19. Go ahead.
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation.
Go ahead.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
So the Most High, Moses came up to talk to the children of Israel. He said, now you go down there and tell them this. Watch this. Verse 7.
And Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before the faces all these words which the Lord commanded him.
Right.
And all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord hath spoken we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what people don't understand is this old covenant was set between the people and the Most High directly. Watch this. Verse 8.
And all of the people answered to
Salaki, verse 9.
And the Lord said unto Moses, lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, go unto the people and sanctify them to the day and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes.
Right.
And be ready against the third day.
He can't win.
And be ready against the third day.
He can't win.
The third day.
What day did Hamashiach raise? Won't he raise on the third day? I changed not. Go ahead.
For the third day of the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Most High himself came to our ancestors and formed this new covenant, this covenant with them. In Exodus 20, is the Most High on the mountain speaking directly to our ancestors. He did that with no other nation. Now, let's go to Hebrews 8. Watch this. Let me show you what changed. But before you go there, so this, now I'll go here first and then we'll go there. So I want this to be clear. Deuce, stop. Watch the movie. Watch that. I know. Watch that. Fries gone. Fries gone to bang. Come on. Keep being good, okay? Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. So we got a special guest in the building tonight. Let's go to Hebrews 8 and start at verse 1.
Now the things which we have spoken, this is the sum.
This is the sum. Go ahead.
We have such a high priest who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens,
right?
A minister of the sanctuary,
right?
And of the true tabernacle, which the Lord pitched and not man.
So this high priest we know, of course, is Yeshua HaMashiach, who the world known to be Jesus Christ. Now, for the sake of time, let's go down to verse 6.
But now have he attained a more excellent ministry,
right?
But how much also he is the mediator.
He is the what?
The mediator.
What?
Mediator.
Right.
Of a better covenant,
right?
Which was established upon better promises.
Now, Yeshua HaMashiach, who the world known to be Jesus Christ, has become the mediator. When before the covenant was set with straight Israel, you understand? Now the covenant now is set between the Most High and Israel, but now we got to go through Hamashiach. Every word must be established among two witnesses. Let me get 1 Timothy 2 and 5. Watch this.
For there is one God and one mediator between God and man.
Go ahead.
The man Hamashiach Yeshaya.
The who?
The man Hamashiach Yeshaya.
The God. The God, right?
The man.
The who?
The man.
Go ahead.
Hamashiach Yeshaya.
You see that? So he is the mediator between men in this covenant. Now go back to Hebrews 8. Watch this. Verse 7.
For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Mm-hmm.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt.
See that? See that? So we know that we're talking about the covenant that was initially set when they came out of Egypt. That's why I showed you over the Exodus 19. Go ahead.
Because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
Make with who?
The house of Israel.
Make with the Christian church.
The house of Israel.
With who?
The house of Israel.
Go ahead.
After those days, said the Lord, I will put my laws into their minds.
Go ahead.
And write them in their hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
You see that? So, ladies and gentlemen, what you must understand, the old covenant was set with Israel. The new covenant with Israel. So what you've been learning in the Christian church was a lie. The covenant with Israel. So this is why a lot of our people don't want to accept that they're Israel, because they think they're going to heaven anyhow as Gentiles. Not to say that the Gentiles can't get into the kingdom, but everyone that go into the kingdom has the same requirements. You understand? So what is the Old Testament good for us? Let me get Romans 15. Romans 15:4 and John 5th chapter. Watch this. Romans 15:4 and John 5th chapter.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime,
right,
were written for our learning.
It was written for our learning. Go ahead.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we need the things of the Old Testament so that we can have hope. We will have patience because we see what he done for our ancestors. You see what he done for the people who believed in him. This gives us a reason to believe that he will do it for us. You understand? Now, let me get John 5:46-47. Watch this.
For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me.
Go ahead.
For he wrote of me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if they're telling you in the Christian church to not worry about the Old Testament, and you're not reading Moses, that's the reason why you don't know who the real Jesus Christ is. Because he wrote of it. Look what he said in verse 47. This is his words. Go ahead.
But if ye believe not his writings,
but if you don't believe Moses' writings,
how shall ye believe my words?
You can't believe his words because you don't know him. That's how a new Jesus can be taught to you to make you think that you don't got to keep the law because you don't know what he came for. This is how it happens. What you got?
Psalm 40.
Give me that. Psalm 40:4. Psalm 40, verse 4.
Verse 7.
Verse 7, Salaki.
Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book.
Now I come in half of the book.
I come in the volume of the book.
Now I come to certain parts.
I come in the volume of the book.
Now I come in Paul's writings.
In the volume of the book.
Go ahead.
It is written of me.
The whole book is written of Jesus the Christ. Everything. If you want to know him, you must read it all. You understand? Now, Jay, we got anything in the watch party over there? Got anything over here? All right. I know we got you on double duty over there right now. Dad duty. Watch party duty. All right, let's go. Let's go. Next question. How are we to biblically handle issues of strife among the body? I feel like I have been disrespected, in quotations, not sure if they meant to, and I want to address it, but I don't want to cause any division. Good question. How are we to biblically handle strife, issues of strife among the body? I feel like I have been disrespected, and they have in quotations, not sure if they meant to, and I want to address it, but I don't want to cause any division. Good question. This is simple. Let's go to Matthew 18. You simply solve this easily with one precept. Real simple. And if I think this right here was practiced more in the church, we wouldn't have a lot of people, starting. A lot of churches, new churches that declare that the Lord told them to start, is really out of strife. And if we did things the right way, what Christ told us to do here, a lot of this new churches popping up and new doctrine popping up and all these things, it wouldn't happen. Man, like he break it down over there. Come on, like the more I lay here, the more I get tired. Dudes, put your pastor out of your mouth. In Matthew 18, so let's look at verse 15 through 17. This is how you handle situations in the church.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his faults between thee and him alone.
Now go post it on social media.
Go tell him his faults between thee and him alone.
Now go say it on social media, but don't say his name. Just say it little slight. Give an indirect shot.
Go and tell him his faults between thee and him alone.
Now go call up your girlfriend. Go call up your man and tell him exactly what happened.
Go and tell him his faults between thee and him alone.
No, go tell the pastor.
Go and tell him his faults between thee and him alone.
Go ahead.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right.
But if he will not hear thee,
if he don't hear you,
then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
Now go take your brother and your cousin that's going to be automatically on your side.
Now take 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
So what he's talking about here is this. You don't just go take somebody. You have to go take someone that was aware of the situation in which you're talking about. If somebody coming at me, I just can't take Jay and Sue and then go to this guy. That's a slanted crowd. So I have to take someone that is aware of the circumstance. To them like, yo, man, hey, bro, that did happen, bro. When you did say you was going to do this and you didn't hold up that bargain, whatever the case may be. Watch this. Verse
17.
Verse 17.
And if he shall neglect to hear them.
So now, this is the steps. You had a situation and you took it to them by yourself. Right? Now, I got a problem with Sue. Right? And I take it to Sue tonight. I don't expect reconciliation by 12 p.m. tomorrow. Let me give time for this situation, to carry out before I go to the next stage. Let's say a week to 2 went by. Situation ain't resolved. Now I go and get the 2 or 3 witnesses. Let me get some time for that to resolve. Let's pray about it. Let's have another conversation about it. If the first situation don't happen. But after several weeks of doing this, and these things don't work, there's been no resolve, then I do what? Watch this.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
Now you bring it before the church. You go to the elders. And he's like, listen, this is the situation. This is what happened. Right? Go ahead.
But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican.
See that? Church got to disown him. Get out of here, buddy. See, this ain't being done. This is how you see these scenarios where dudes is getting a girl pregnant. He the minister. They bringing the girl up to the church and making her apologize. And the guy just sitting there like he ain't did nothing. So some people, depending on your status in the church or how much clout you got, is getting more respect. No, that's not the way it goes. So let me show you how it goes when it's an elder. When it's a situation with an elder. Let's go back to Titus. Let's go to Titus. And let me show you how to deal with it when it's an elder. Let's say an elder did something and they was out of line. They was out of pocket, right? The Most High gives resolve for that. Now remember, we talked about don't rebuke the elder. Verse 75 is what I meant. So verse 75, you don't rebuke an elder publicly, right? You don't do that, right? Okay. So let's go to verse 75 is what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a situation that happens if an elder get out of pocket. Let's go straight to it. Verse 17 through 19.
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor,
Right.
especially they who labor in the word and doctrine.
So you got to treat them with double honor. I know people don't want to hear that. And I put my pants on the same way you do, bro. One leg at a time. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. I'm not even going to go into that tonight. Verse 16. Salaki, verse 18.
For the scripture said, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn, and the laborer is worthy of his reward.
So this is talking about the fact that you're supposed to sow and give it to your elders. Some people don't want to do that. They don't want to bless their elders for nothing. Now, I think the people at Better Day Ministry, you guys take really good care of me and Deke. I really appreciate that. I'm telling you, man, y'all are phenomenal. Y'all are phenomenal, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? With a handful of people that we got, we get work done, and y'all look out for your boy. I really appreciate that, right? But this is what he's talking about, verse 19.
Against an elder, receive not a accusation.
So if sometimes the elder doesn't get out of pocket, you don't do that. You don't receive no accusation, but what?
But before 2 or 3 witnesses.
So it has to be 2 or 3 people that can acknowledge what's going on. But you can't be the one to bring it out. You got to bring it to the other elders. And this is what happened. Verse 20.
Them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear.
Now, that's why I wanted to bring you here. Because what has happened is we've seen the opposite of this, especially in the Christian church. They're bringing the young 17-year-old girl up there before everybody. But the elder, the minister, that done got some side chicks over here on the low, nobody never hear about it except gospel. No, this young girl was supposed to be rebuked privately. The elders is the one who's supposed to be rebuked openly. That's what the Bible says. Okay? So that's how we carry these scenarios out. How we deal with strife the biblical way. Great question. Great question. Now, let's go to the next one. AJ, do me a favor. Text Nadia and ask where they are. Oh, my bad. Triple duty. My bad. Matter of fact, don't worry about it. You got that going on right now. Don't worry about it. Let's go. Next question. Okay. So the Most High has blessed me to live a comfortable life financially. I make this statement in absence of pride because I know without Hamashiach, I would have nothing. The problem is because family and friends know that I am committed to the Most High. They guilt me into giving or letting them borrow money continuously. Most times, I am never paid back. 1 Timothy 6, verse 17 to 19 is the motivation for my actions. But honestly, elder, I am starting to feel taken advantage of. How should I approach this going forward? Let me read that again. It says, okay, so the Most High has blessed me to live comfortable life financially. I make this statement absent of pride because I know without Hamashiach, I would have nothing. The problem is because family and friends know that I am committed to the Most High. They guilt me into giving or letting them borrow money continuously. Most times I never pay it back. Most times I am never paid back. 1 Timothy 6, verse 17 through 19 is the motivation for my actions, but honestly, elder, I am starting to feel taken advantage of. How should I approach this going forward? Now, before we get started, let's read 1 Timothy 6, 17 through 19 so we can understand what he was talking about, which is his motivation. A scripture that is not quite often brought out. One of the charges that Paul told Timothy to give to those who are well off. This is very important, and this right here is the scripture which is the motivation for a lot of closet givers. And what I mean by that, I don't say it in a malicious way. I'm saying it in a great way, because a lot of this work where you see taking going forward is people who are giving, and they don't do it publicly. They don't do it for everybody to see. You know, we got a lot of people that help Better Day Ministry do work, and no one ever knows about it. They just send, and they be like, yo, man, I want to see this go forward. I want to see you guys do the work, and they get it done. And this is what they're getting from. 1 Timothy 6. Let's read verse 17 to 19 there.
Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches.
So he told them, told Timothy, say, trust them that are rich in this world. Those who have money and currently in this world, to be not high-minded, don't get caught up in their current status. That's the first thing. And then he also told them not to trust in uncertain riches, because your money, especially in these days we're in right now, could be gone just like that. That market of the beast comes out, other little situation that the government come up with. Don't trust in uncertain riches. So that's the first. That's the things he told them. Go ahead.
But in the living God,
but trust in the Most High,
who giveth us richly all things to enjoy.
Go ahead.
That they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute, willing to communicate.
Communication, right. So he said, listen, those who got money, he said, listen, you make sure that you take care of them, because you got to be able to be giving money. You got to be ready to distribute when there's a need. This is keep those good works stored up. And those good works will do what? So verse 18, 19.
Laying up in the store for themselves a good foundation,
right,
against the time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life.
So this is what was the charge that Paul gave to the rich, right? Now, so my man said this is his motivation, but he's saying now he's starting to feel like he's taking advantage of it. So let's go to Sirach 12 and let's go to Sirach 29. And for those who came on later, who don't have an apocrypha, but if you have a separate laptop, tablet, or phone, go to Google and type in SIRACH, chapter 12. And then we're going to go to chapter 29. Now, I love the fact that the brother is operating in the spirit. I told the brother, man, you're doing a good work, and I appreciate him for doing what he's doing. But you cannot let people take advantage of you, and you got to operate in the spirit, but you don't want to be closed up. So this is how we want to give these scripts tonight, these wisdom scripts on these scenarios, because you can't use that verse doing good works for everybody. You can't be giving money to everybody. Everybody ain't worthy. Okay, and when they'll do it quick, boy. You be out there somewhere and they'll see you, especially when we was in the church, and they'll see you with some Sunday clothes on. Like, ain't you a Christian? You believe in Jesus? And then they'll come right with what would Jesus do? Nah, don't let people play you like that. Right? So we want to give you these wisdom scripts on it. Get Sirach 12 and then get Sirach 29 ready. Sirach 12, let's start there, verse 1. Watch this.
When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest.
Right.
So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits.
So when you're giving something, like for example, I was watching the news earlier, and they said these young boys were going through neighborhoods talking about they was raising money for a recreational football team that don't exist. Right? They don't even exist. Those YMCAs that they was talking about, they ain't even got those teams. Or some of the teams don't exist no more, but they was hitting people in the pockets for them. Right? So know who it is that you're giving money to. Don't let somebody just, all these GoFundMe stuffs. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. Somebody died at 4:00 and by 6:30, there's a GoFundMe page up. Who was thinking about that? My loved one died. I ain't thinking about no GoFundMe page. Right? But, that's another lesson for another time. So don't get caught up in the sad stories. Don't get caught up in these things. Know who it is that you're giving to. That's the first thing. Verse 2.
Do good to the godly man.
Do good to the godly man. Watch this.
And thou shalt find a recompense.
Recompense. Go ahead.
And if not for him, And if not from him, yet from the Most High.
So when you do good for a godly man, someone with a good reputation, that recompense is a reward. And he said, if you don't do it, get it from him, you'll get it from the Most High. Watch this. Verse 3.
There can be no good come to him that is always occupied in evil,
Right?
nor to him that giveth no alms.
So what happens a lot of time, man, especially for people who grew up poor, you finally get some money and you start doing any and everything that you ain't got no business doing. Just I'm gonna live it up. So Sirach was saying, listen, there ain't gonna be no good come to those who always occupied in evil. Take out your mouth. Always occupied in evil. And what was that last part? Also to who? The last part.
Nor to him that giveth no alms.
So those who don't give no help to poor, they ain't got nothing to do for anybody that's in need, and nothing good coming to you. Watch this. Go ahead.
Give to the godly man.
Give to who?
The godly man.
Go ahead.
And help not a sinner.
And help not a sinner. See how there's a difference in that? Most I said, yeah, you give to the godly man, but you don't help the local drug dealer that's your cousin re-up because he smoked up all the money. But man, you know all them June boy them gonna get me, bro. Nah, you don't help the sinner. You don't help nobody keep treating their veins. You understand? Watch this. Verse 5.
Do well unto him that is lowly.
Right. Do unto him well that is lowly. Go ahead.
But give not to the ungodly.
But give not to the ungodly. Right. Go ahead.
But give not to the ungodly.
Right.
Hold back thy bread and give it not unto him.
Right.
Lest he overmaster thee thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him.
You see that? See, what, ladies and gentlemen, what the Most High is saying here is this. Unknowingly, some of you guys have supported evil works. You know, some people out here, some of you got homeboys with side chicks trying to support these side chicks, and they coming up short on their bills because they out here tricking. We can say some things like the Sabbath. You out here tricking, and then going to your man's borrowing money trying to make it up. Nah, you don't support that guy. Because when you out here doing these things, and the Most High say, yo, you out here cupping cover for evil, I'm gonna blow that evil back on you. And then this is why he said this. Verse 6.
For the Most High hateth sinners.
Read it again.
For the Most High hateth sinners.
Nah, brother, he loved the sinner, but he hate the sin.
For the Most High hateth sinners.
Go ahead.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly.
Right.
And keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Therefore,
give unto the good.
Give unto the good.
And help not the sinner.
And help not the sinner. So that's how you can vary this out. And let's see where we at. Yeah, we got time to go to this next. Let's go to Sirach 29. We can go through this real quick. But this is a good question. I know a lot of people struggle with this, so I wanted to make sure we'll put some edification on this. Let's go to Sirach 29, and let's start at verses 1 through 3 there.
He that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor,
right?
And he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments.
Read that again.
He that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor.
So the Most High said, if you're merciful, you will lend to your neighbor. But watch this.
And he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments.
So by when you strengthen your neighbor's hand, you're keeping the commandments. Give me that Proverbs 19 and 17 right quick. So watch this. Watch this. Look at this.
Proverbs 19 and 17.
Go ahead.
He that have pity upon the poor.
When you have pity upon the poor, go ahead.
Lend it unto the Lord.
So the Most High said, every time you have pity on the poor, it's like lending money to the Most High. That's a sweet deal, man. And what happens?
And that which he have given, will he pay him again.
Now you know if anybody gonna pay you back, it's the Most High. See that? Back to Sirach. So read that again, verse 1. Watch this. Sirach 29 and 1.
He that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor.
Go ahead.
And he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments.
Go ahead, verse 2.
Lend to thy neighbor in time of his need,
Right.
and pay thy neighbor again in due season.
So you see how the Most High is dealing with both sides of that. You said when your neighbor has a situation, you lend it to him. But for those who are getting the money lent to, you're also commanded to give it back. You understand? Verse 3.
Keep thy word.
Keep thy word.
And deal faithfully with him.
Right.
And thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee.
One of the reasons right now why some people are struggling is because you're unfaithful. You're burnt bridges. You understand? You're burnt so many bridges that now when you got situations going on, you have no one to go to. You have no one there that's going to be there in your time of need. And that's terrible. But if you do right by people, you'll always have someone there in your time of need. Now go down to verse 7, Sue. Watch this. I want to make sure they saw this too.
Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealings, fearing to be defrauded.
So you got a situation like when you at the store, you give somebody some money, you go in and get you some gas, you look around the corner, my man over there with a 40 in his hand, right? You give your person some money, and they tell you that they needed to pay their light bill. The next thing you know, you see them with a brand new pair of J's on their feet, right? I seen something about a story with a congregation jumped the pastor because he pulled up with a brand new Benz after they had did this building fund for several months. And my man pulled up in a brand new whip, and the congregation jumped. Now that could have been a fake meme, I don't know, but it was funny to me, right? Better they know L don't get down like that. L still riding that same Escalade. I take from Dolo from state to state, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been riding. You know what I'm saying? So they already know L don't get down like that, right? Right, verse 8.
Yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy.
He said, listen, I know some situations that's happened, but he said, listen, still be patient with a man that's in poor estate. Show him mercy. Go ahead.
And delay not to show him mercy. Help the poor for the commandment's sake,
right?
And turn him not away because of his poverty.
Now, that's why I wanted to go here, Sue. Because in the Christian church, a lot of times, and it really wasn't wrong, but it wasn't right. A lot of times when they was talking about giving, it was always taught from the perspective of, yo, he gonna give you double for your trouble, you gonna get this, you sow a seed, and this and that, which that's why most people were never really receiving, because it was a lie and a hustle. So yes, that's why I took you to Proverbs 19 and 17. When you give to the poor, yes, the Most High will pay you back. A friend of mine just had a great testimony the other day about a scenario in which she sold and the Most High gave her double back. But when she sold, that wasn't the motivation for honest sowing. So read that again, what he said. He says what? Verse 9.
Help the poor for the commandment's sake.
So yes, follow the law and help the poor because the law said it, but what?
And turn him not away because of his poverty.
But your main motivation should be because he needed. You understand? There's some things some people, the Most High just shouldn't have to say. You should just do it because it's the right thing to do. Right? Verse 10.
Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rush under a stone to be lost. Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High,
right? And
it shall bring thee more profit than gold.
So the Most High says, when you're giving and helping people in need, it's going to profit you more than any amount of money you can put in the bank. How? Verse 12.
Shut up alms in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from all affliction.
You see that? Not money, he said in the storehouse, alms. Your alms will deliver you in all afflictions. Now, let me be specific here. We know that this new rise of all these cancer walks and domestic walks violence walks and dog walks and all this stuff. Listen, no disrespect, but that's them. That's their stuff over there. You know, if you want to do something for somebody with some cancer, you go directly to breast cancer, where you go to somebody who dealing with breast cancer. Okay, bump all this cancer's awareness, and what more awareness do we need with cancer? It's on TV every day. So if you want to help, you want to make a difference in someone's life dealing with cancer, find you someone, go down to your local oncologist, go down to them places, see someone in need, and bless them directly. You know, I love that organization. I'm not going to bring it out because they might not want to put it out there. But the organization that we blessed last year for bread, one of the things, the reason why we did what we did for them is because when one of the part of their ministry that they do is they find people in the community directly that's going through cancer, pay bills, come over and clean their houses, go to the grocery store and do their shopping for them. That's ministry. Not going to walk around a track for a mile and say, nah, man. That's just the new hustle that they're doing these days. You understand? Give back to the people that need. There's some people that really need the help. And he says when you do those things, it will actually bless you from the Most High. Watch this, verse 13.
It shall fight for thee against thy enemies better than a mighty shield and strong spear.
That's what your arms will do for you. So don't allow these people who are coming up with these hooks and these schemes to make it seem like they're doing something. There's a lot of people out there that really need you. And I don't want to say, let me make sure I restate this because I don't want to offend anyone. A lot of you that's going around there walking those miles and doing those things, you're doing it for the right reasons. You have good intentions in your heart. But that's what they're betting on. For you to buy their merchandise, buy the hats, buy the shirts, buy the wristbands, and then they go out the back door with the money bag. You understand? When there's some people that need your money directly. Now, so let's see what Teaser got here.
All right, it says, can you provide scriptures that address having patience with family members or friends that are not saved? Is there an order of practice or time limit we give to loved ones that refuse to correct their behaviors and seek the Most High?
Yo, it seems like all of Israel is dealing with that, bro. We get that question in one way every week, and we just answered it really in a sense.
It says also, do we continually reprimand them? Is there a time when keeping counsel with the unsaved begins to affect your own personal walk with Christ?
It does. It does. All right, man. If you stop bringing out your precepts in the ancient Hebrew, we'll give you the mic, man. Let's go to Titus. That's a good question, Titus. And it's crazy that all Israel is dealing with this, man. It's crazy because it's crazy. Bam. No respect. Let's go to Titus on that. One second. I was about to go that verse 16. So that had a bit unnecessary. That'd have been strictly for me, not for edification. Let's go to Timothy, man. I think we solve it better with Timothy. let's go to Timothy. Because we done answered that question in so many ways, and I just want to make sure that I speak directly to that versus making it drawn out. I wanted to go straight to it. A heretic after 2 or 3 admonitions reviewed. I just looked. I just seen it a minute ago, and I was about to precept there, but I said, this is in. Hold up. I just seen it, man. I just dealt with this like 30 minutes ago. After 2 or 3 ammunitions, one second, man. Unbelievable. Oh, here it is. God, right in my face, man. Titus 3, man. God, man. Unbelievable. I know it was in Titus. I can't get overlooking it. Titus 3. And let's start at verse 9.
But avoid foolish questions.
Matter of fact, start at verse 8.
This is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly, that they which have believed in God may be careful to maintain good works.
So you have to maintain your good works. You can't allow others around you who are misunderstanding what you're doing and not appreciating your dedication and your discipline and your commitment. You can't allow that to be the reason why you turn down. You understand? You can't allow that to be the reason you turn down. Go ahead.
These things are good and profitable unto men, but avoid foolish questions,
right,
and genealogies and contentions and striving about the law,
right,
for they are unprofitable and vain.
So when we had this question the other day when it was talking about what is more important, teaching people the gospel of Hamashiach or telling them they're Israel. And we told them that the most important thing is telling them the gospel of Hamashiach. This is the most important thing. Because there are several people, there's countless amount of people who know they're Israel and not making it to the kingdom. They're done. Because they don't follow Hamashiach. They wearing fringes from head to toe. The girl wake up with her hair wrapped and go to sleep with her hair wrapped. And she ain't got a chance. Because she's not committed to the things of Jesus Christ. You understand? So you don't need to get caught up in the foolish questions when people say to you, well, I can serve the Lord every day. You don't even, you know what the Bible says about keeping the Sabbath. Don't even have those discussions back and forth. Right? You avoid those foolish questions or avoid those things. Well, how do I know what tribe and all that? You avoid all of that. Because the only thing, it's going to be unprofitable. It's not going to ultimately produce what you want to be produced. Verse 10.
A man that is a heretic after the first and second admonition reject.
So when you make an attempt, this is not a person coming to you asking questions, but this is you going to them and ask questions. Right? You're not asking questions, but trying to share your faith, share your beliefs. And after the first and second admonition, and they don't want to hear what you got to say, you reject them. Now, do you cut that person off and say, listen, bro, we ain't cool, we ain't family no more? No. But you're no longer entertaining or engaging in a conversation with them anymore. You're gonna have to allow life to teach them. This is why we talked about the fact over Sirach and Sirach 5 was that you have to let your life be sincere. Because if you have the same problems, you're doing the same sins, you're breaking the same laws, but you talking about, hey, yo, you gotta do this, will be counterproductive. You understand? So he said, after read it again, verse 10. It says what?
A man that is a heretic after the first and second admonition reject, knowing that he that is such is subverted and sinneth, being condemned of himself.
He condemned of himself. You did your job. You did what you could do, trying to help them out. You're not responsible for him not making it. He is. Verse 12. Oh, that's it right there. That's it. That's all I want to bring out there. All right. So read that last part of that, because I think it's something else I want to bring out.
What to my question? And then after that, he said, "Is there an order or practice or time limit we give to loved ones that refuse to correct their behaviors and seek the Most High?"
Well, that dealt with that.
And then it said, "Do we continually reprimand them? Is there a time when keeping counsel with the unsaved begins to affect your own personal walk with Christ?"
It does. Eventually, because what happens is that you'll get so caught up in trying to get everybody else right, you'll be losing sight of yourself. They push close on that. You'll lose sight of yourself. You got. Oh man, damn! They want you to do that because it might power down. Just hoping that it don't. So just you guys have to be careful of that and do the spirit. And a lot of times, the best thing you can do for people is to pray. Is to pray. All of a sudden, now the signal coming out. There we go. See how I kicked all those people out like that? See how I be doing that? The best thing you can do is pray, and most High work it out. But your life will speak for itself. Matter of fact, let's get that Matthew 10 and 16. Matthew 5 and 16 is what I meant.
Let your light show shine before men, that they may see your good works, and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
So that's what happens if you let your light shine. Shalom, Mama V. Good seeing you on with us tonight. You let your light so shine that people see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. All right. I think that is all the questions that we have for tonight. If anyone else has another question, I will be happy to answer that, but I think that's all we have submitted. So we're going to give a couple of seconds as we give these announcements. And if nobody have any other questions, we're going to call it a night. We are, for those who are in the Waynesboro, in the Anson County, Stanley County, Richmond County, South Carolina area, or even those, because we got some people that's planning on driving across the state and throughout the month of February on Sundays at 3 p.m. we will be doing what I call the Bible Black History according to the Bible. A lot of people have expressed interest in studying Black history, but as we talked about all the time, all the history that they ever tell you about is Kunta Kinte and up. They don't want to deal with anything before we came to this country in slave ships. You understand? But we're going to, through the Bible and other secular and historical records, we're going to prove to you who we are from Mama V. Listen, we already talked about your situation. Listen, I'm just happy to see you on. You understand? I know what you're going through right now. But we prayed for you last night, and Most High has already delivered you. You just sit there and rest. I want to see you in a couple weeks. So don't worry about nothing. You don't apologize for nothing. When your name came up, you don't even understand what that did to me. Just say you come on. You understand? So listen, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're doing well. And know that we're still praying for you. And we love you. Don't you dare apologize for nothing. You Mama V. But I'm we going to be doing that each Sunday, 3 p.m. We're going to be showing who our people are from the time we left Egypt until now, until this present day. You understand? So don't worry about it. The Most High has you, and we're specifically making this thing out for pastors. We want the pastors to come in and take this information back to your churches. Any entrepreneurs, leaders, single moms, anyone that operates in some type of leadership position in your community, we ask you to come through. Bring these teenagers out, these young adults. If you got young adult ministries, bring them out. If you got youth groups, whatever the case may be. Because in order for us to have a proper future, we need to know where we come from. And we're going to be doing that each Sunday at 3 p.m. throughout the month of February. It's called the Black History According to the Bible. Anyone that wants to attend that, shoot me an inbox, shoot me a message, and I will get that information to you. I meant to put the links in before, but please contact us. And we're not going to be live, so anyone that's outside the state, we will be recording and we'll be, uploading to YouTube afterwards. But that's the best we can do as far as that. But we hope you guys are able to make it out to that. Secondly, we'd love for you guys to attend our Purim celebration on February the 15th. On February the 15th, we're going to be partnering with my brothers and sisters Ken and Run the Schools from Restoration Center, Charlotte and Charlotte, North Carolina. And we're going to be at 131 Stetson Drive, 131 STETSON Drive on February the 15th, and doors open at 5:30. Now, we need you guys to contact us and RSVP before January the 31st. Once again, that date is February the 15th. And that's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina this year. And, man, we got people coming from all over the country, man. It's really exciting. It's an honor to be able to keep these memorial feast days with the brethren. So if anyone has any desire to come out, let us know. We're going to be giving away free gifts, toys for the kids. We're going to be giving away some gifts for teenagers, gifts for adults. And then we got a special prize that we're going to be giving. We're going to eat good. We're going to have fun. We're going to play games. We're going to have a good time in the Most High. So we love for you guys to come out and celebrate with us. Lastly, through the Spirit of the Most High, we will be starting the church here in Waynesboro, North Carolina. Better Day Anson will be starting. Our first service will be this Friday at 7:30. And the address for that is 105 South Rutherford Street. 105 South Rutherford Street in Waynesboro, North Carolina. And so we're really, really excited about that. So if anyone in this area, in the Monroe and Charlotte, Rockingham area that want to come out and fellowship with us, our Sabbath service will be Friday nights at 7:30. And our Tuesday night Transformation Tuesdays will be also on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. So we love for you guys to come out and fellowship with us. Saturday, I think it's not I didn't find it in the law, or it's not a statue or anything, but it's like a slash memorial slash somewhat pre-holy day going on this Saturday. The big odd. January 25th, you know what I'm saying? The trumpet sounded, the shofars blowed, you know what I'm saying? And the Most High saw fit for your boy to into the earth realm, knowing he was coming out with this gospel. So we're excited about that. With all the Most High I've been through over the years, get to celebrate his birthday. So we're really excited about that. So as we always say, ladies and gentlemen, we love each and every one of you. And we pray and hope that something was said tonight that was edifying to you, that inspired you. You understand? We always say, give all praise and honor to a higher Bahashem Yeshaya World Walk. And we just thank the Most High that you guys saw fit to study with us. And As we always say, ladies and gentlemen, continue to be steadfast, continue to be unmovable, always abounding to the work of the Most High. If there's anything that we can do, ladies and gentlemen, to assist you along the way, don't ever hesitate to hit us up. We will always be here for you. This is what we do. This is what we love to do. And we appreciate you guys entrusting us with the opportunity to be a blessing to you. So as we always say, continue to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding to the work of the Most High. We love you. We look forward to seeing you guys this Sabbath, 7:30. Barakatah, Kwame Yashra.
This is my job for the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. This is my job for the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my telling the truth. Rest of my life. Loving the most high. All of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life. Yeah. I'm standing my ground. The truth is the weapon. You don't have to make me shining the message and killing the messenger. All over words. It must be the truth that I'm telling. These devils offended. You call it they trash. Don't buy all the shit that they sell. They label you bad. Got no release of the flags. Know what they hide. Know that my home ain't where I reside. Hey, who am I kidding? I'm speaking to ears that never do listen. You gotta be talking them digits. Helping the children. Principal mission. I am a pediatrician. I'm done with this story. Get it, this story. Brother, I'm doing my story. Cause we are the people. I'd rather be better, never that equal. The feelings is mutual. Ain't speaking no evil. Examine your leaders. Not doing religion. I'm open with politics. Calling me so controversial. They say I'm too raw, but spit is so eloquent. Like I'm spitting in curses. Their business is personal. Won't charge you for food. Do what a church do. I do what a nurse do. I call on a doctor and wait on my number. Forever I'm humble. I live with my shame. Let me die with some honor. 100. This is my job for the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. This is my job for the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my telling the truth. Rest of my life. Loving the most high. All of my life.
All right, man. We love y'all, man.
Rest of my life.
Barakatah, Shalom, man.
Rest of my life.
What y'all want to do?